The rain fell heavily that night, not the gentle kind, the kind that sounded like judgment on the roof. Inside a small, dimly lit room sat a man named David. His eyes were fixed on his trembling hands, hands that once hailed hearts with sermons, now burdened with regrets. 3 years ago, people called him Pastor David, a man of wisdom, a man of faith, a man people trusted. But today, he was just David, a man running from his past. Sometimes, the loudest fall is not from height, but from grace. David once had everything: a growing ministry, a loving wife, a church filled every Sunday, and voices that shouted, Amen. He preached about righteousness. He taught about integrity. He spoke boldly about trusting God in all situations. But life has a way of testing the messages we preach. One desperate season, one financial decision, one secret made out of fear, and one lie that multiplied into many. When the truth surfaced, it spread like wildfire, not whispered, not quiet correction, not loud judgment. The church doors closed, friends disappeared, his reputation shattered overnight, and the worst loss of all, he stopped praying. Now, David worked as a night cleaner in a hospital, from preaching on altars to mopping silent hallways, from leading prayers to avoiding eye contact. One night, as he pushed his cleaning cart past the next station, he heard a whisper. Isn't that Pastor David that disgraced himself? He froze. His chest tightened. His heart sank. His soul felt exposed. He walked away quietly, but the words echoed loudly than the rain outside. Later that night, inside the storage room, he slowly knelt down. For the first time in 2 years, he tried to pray. His voice cracked. God, do you still hear me? Tears rolled down his eyes. Or am I too broken for redemption? Days passed, weeks passed. Life remained quiet and heavy until one evening, an elderly man was admitted into the hospital, weak, frail, silent. David was assigned to clean his ward. As he wiped the floor gently, a soft voice suddenly spoke.
I don't anymore. Jonah also ran from God. How did you know? Because broken servants are still chosen servants. Your mistake shocked people, but it did not shock God.
That night, David couldn't sleep. His mind became a battlefield. Voices whispered in his thoughts. You failed. You are a hypocrite. You can never be used again. God is done with you. But deep within his spirit, another voice rose quietly. My grace is sufficient for you. He reached for his dusty Bible, the same Bible he had ignored for years. His hands trembled as he opened it. The pages fell to Psalm 51. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Suddenly, he broke. Not small tears, not silent pain, but deep soul-pouring cries. Lord, I am not asking for my reputation back. I am asking for my heart back. And in that moment, redemption began. Because redemption does not start in public, it starts in private surrender. Weeks passed. David began to pray again. Short prayers, honest prayers, real prayers. Not for fame, not for a pulpit, not for recognition, just for forgiveness and a clean heart. One afternoon, he noticed a young boy crying in the hospital corridor. Beside him was his exhausted mother, holding unpaid medical bills. People walked past them. Some glanced, most ignored. David paused. He checked his wallet. It contained almost everything he had for the month. He hesitated. Then he remembered something. God did not give up on him when he was undeserving. Quietly, he worked to the billing desk and paid the deposit anonymously. The nurse asked him, "Why would you do that?" David smiled gently and replied, "Because God showed me mercy when I didn't deserve it." That day, he didn't preach the sermon. He lived one. Days later, the elderly man recovered and prepared for discharge. Before leaving, he handed David a folded note. Inside it read, "Redemption is not God erasing your past. It is God rewriting your future." David stood there in silence. For the first time in years, his heart felt light. Then, something unexpected happened. The hospital management invited him to speak at a small staff prayer meeting. He was shocked, terrified, uncertain. His heart trembled as he stood before a small group. No spotlight, no crowd, no applause, just broken people listening. He took a deep breath and said, I failed, I hid from God, but God never hid from me." The room became silent. Then slowly, tears filled the eyes of those listening, because authenticity carries power. Years later, David never returned to the big church stage, but every week he prayed for patience, encouraged the hopeless, and spoke life into the broken hearts inside quiet hospital rooms. And somehow, his impact became greater than before, because God was never interested in his platform. God was interested in his heart. Redemption is the proof that your worst chapter does not have to be your final story. God is not searching for perfect people. He is searching for surrendered hearts. No sin is bigger than grace. No fall is deeper than God's mercy. No life is too broken for restoration. If you're still breathing, God is not finished with you yet. Redemption is not about becoming who people expect. It is about becoming who God designed. So, no matter how far you have fallen, no matter how heavy your past is, remember this: God still forgives, God still restores, and God still redeems.